The air inside Arthur Ashe Stadium is just heavy. It's September 4th, 2025, New York City.
Right. It's that late summer humidity, but the real heat is coming off the court at the U.S. Open.
Exactly. The crowd is just a wall of sound. It's roaring, but then there's a lull, a break in the play.
And the broadcast directors do what they always do. They start scanning the crowd.
But they're not looking for just any celebrity wave. They find something else.
They found the moment, the one that made 5 years of rumors suddenly feel very, very real.
On that massive jumbotron, two figures zoom into focus. They're leaning in close, way past the just friend zone.
And there's a kiss.
A real one. It's intimate, and then you see the realization ripple through the crowd. That is not a random couple.
No. That is Bobby Flay, the king of Food Network, and Brooke Williamson, the Top Chef winner who's supposed to be his on-screen rival.
The reaction was just priceless. Flay looks up, he sees himself, and he just points at the camera with this, look of mock terror.
Mouthing, "I was seen!" And Brooke just dissolves into laughter, leaning right into him. It was perfect.
That one moment. The cameras flashed, the internet just melted, and like that, a spark from a random parking lot 5 years ago became Hollywood's tastiest new obsession. Welcome to StarScope Report.
Join Jordan and Jamie as we uncover Hollywood drama, music industry shakeups, and viral influencer scandals. From red carpet surprises to social media controversies, we dive deep into the stories behind the fame.
And today's deep dive is all about the headline that has just completely taken over our feeds. Bobby Flay dating his judge. The truth. I'm Jordan.
And I'm Jamie. And we are going to unpack how two culinary titans went from, professional rivals to what they are now calling a permanent couple.
We've pulled together a ton of sources for this one because the timeline is, it's a lot trickier than it looks on the surface. We've got transcripts from Flay's podcast, Bobby on the Beat.
And the text of that really pivotal Los Angeles Times op-ed Brooke wrote back in 2020.
We even dug into some Reddit AMA threads from production staff, people who saw things the cameras completely missed.
We're definitely going to get into the whole controversy with the diamond ring that wasn't an engagement ring, and that secret timeline producers were whispering about way before anyone else knew.
Exactly. But to understand why that kiss at the U.S. Open was such a huge deal, we have to go back. Way back.
And not to some glitzy Food Network set.
No. We have to go to a Fry's supermarket parking lot in Phoenix, Arizona.
So it's April 28, 2020. They're filming Supermarket Stakeout. Now, on paper, you just assume these two are already friends, right? I mean, they run in the exact same circles.
Would absolutely think so. They're both heavy hitters.
Mm.
But that's the first real surprise here. They basically didn't know each other.
Not at all. Brooke admitted later she hadn't really paid much attention to him. She knew the name, obviously, but she wasn't, tracking his career.
And get this, Flay was literally Googling her bio in the car on the way to the set.
No way.
Yes, he was checking to see if she had actually won Top Chef.
Okay, that feels a little disrespectful, doesn't it?
A little. I mean, she's a Tournament of Champions winner. She is culinary royalty.
I think. I don't know if it was disrespect so much as, a generational gap. Flay is from that old school Iron Chef Food Network era.
Right. He's a brawler.
And Brooke is this modern, super technical, competition-crushing generation. So they're peers, but they operate in kind of different stratospheres.
But there they are. Trailers labeled BF and BW, standing in a parking lot, about to judge people on their grocery shopping.
The most unglamorous setting imaginable. We're talking asphalt and shopping carts.
And yet, the producers noticed something right away. In the production notes, they called it electric tension.
See, I look into those notes. What they described wasn't really romance at first sight. It was more like competence at first sight.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, you have two people who are just obsessive about food standards, so you put two perfectionists in a situation where they have to critique bad cooking.
And they bond. They bond over the shared standard, creates a unified front.
Exactly. It's an intellectual attraction before it's anything else.
But then, the world shuts down. The pandemic hits right after that shoot. They don't see each other for a whole year.
And honestly, that is where 99% of work crushes just die.
Right. If it was just a little flirtation, it would have ended right there.
Yeah.
But this is where the story gets, I think, a lot deeper.
This is where Brooke wrote that op-ed for the Los Angeles Times.
I went back and read that piece. It was incredibly raw. She wasn't writing about, recipes or fun cooking tips.
No, she was writing about the pure terror of losing her livelihood, her restaurant.
She was literally standing on the patio of her place, Playa Provisions, just watching her industry completely collapse around her.
And that article caught Bobby Flay's eye, and he FaceTimed her. Out of the blue.
A FaceTime call, not a text, after a year.
I know.
That feels incredibly bold for a guy you met once in a parking lot.
It's a huge move, absolutely. But from what they've said about it, he didn't call to hit on her. He called to tell her that her voice mattered. He complimented her vulnerability.
Okay, that's a key distinction. That moves them from just colleagues.
To industry confidants.
And that's the glue, isn't it? Shared trauma. They bonded over this existential crisis facing their entire world.
That kind of emotional foundation is so much stronger than just, thinking someone is cute on set.
It's surprisingly sweet. And they kept it professional for years after that. Or so they claimed.
Yeah.
But if you're loving these Hollywood twists, make sure you're subscribed to StarScope Report. We've got even crazier stories ahead.
Especially one involving a certain 240-year-old barn. But before the barn, we have to talk about the soft launch that I think most people missed.
The triple threat architecture.
This is where the business strategy and their personal lives really start to blur. It's 2022. Bobby launches Bobby's triple threat. He needs 3 titans.
And he handpicks Brooke Williamson.
So why her? I mean, he knows everybody in the industry.
I think it's because she balances him perfectly. Flay is all big, bold, southwestern flavors. He's a brawler in the kitchen.
Right. And Brooke is precise. She's technical. She's California coastal. She's a sniper.
He hired her because she is one of the few people who could probably beat him on a technicality. It's respect.
But by putting her on that show, he put them in the same room under intense pressure all the time. And the fans...
Oh, the Reddit detectives? They missed nothing.
They started noticing a change, specifically in Season 5 of BBQ Brawl.
The threads were talking about flirty exchanges and a specific kind of cutesy energy.
But there was one moment on Triple Threat that really stood out to me. Brooke had a rice cooker failure.
Oof, which is a total nightmare in a timed competition.
A complete disaster. She lost the round because of it. She was devastated. And Bobby, totally unprompted, goes into the kitchen and makes her a burger.
See, for me, that's the smoking gun. That is not host behavior. That is I love you behavior.
I mean, I pushed back on that at first. I thought, well, chefs feed people. That's how they show they care. That's how they soothe.
Sure, but this was different.
It was. Watching the footage, it wasn't just about feeding her. It was the specific, quiet care he took. He wasn't the executive producer in that moment. He was her partner.
And now we know, thanks to sources confirming it, in March of 2025, that's around the time they decided to officially jump in.
The timing was finally right. Both of them were finally single. Brooke divorced from Nick Roberts. Bobby had split from Christina Perez.
So that brings us right back to the U.S. Open kiss, the hard launch.
It felt so strategic, though, didn't it? The U.S. Open is a massive public stage.
Oh, absolutely. These are two people who understand media inside and out. They knew exactly what they were doing.
But I do think the power couple aspect is interesting. They are validating each other's brands. Flay gets to show he's still relevant and connected to the modern culinary scene through Brooke.
And Brooke gets the elevation of being the partner to, well, the undisputed king of the network. It's mutually beneficial.
It is, but even the best laid plans can get complicated, especially when a little blue box appears.
The ring incident. This is my favorite part of the whole story.
And that's not even the wildest part. Wait until you hear what she actually said when he opened that box.
October 14, 2025. Bobby posts an Instagram story.
And it's just Brooke's hand, casually in her jeans pocket. Except
there's a rock on her finger that you could see from the International Space Station.
And the caption is just 2 words. It's casual.
Which is just A-plus level trolling.
Masterclass. The internet, of course, just exploded. Everyone assumed it was an engagement.
But then, nope, they come out and say, no, we are not engaged.
And this is where it gets really interesting, I think, from a cultural perspective. I mean, Bobby has been married 3 times, Brooke once. They are just done with the institution of marriage.
So Flay coined a new term for them. Permanent couple.
Which, I have to admit, it sounds a little unromantic at first.
Right.
Like a tax status or something.
It really does. We are a permanent couple. But the story of the ring itself proves there's a ton of romance there, even if it's a bit messy.
So Bobby goes to his cousin Billy, who's a jeweler, and Billy apparently told Bobby he was officially cut off from buying any more wedding rings.
Billy is the hero we all need in our lives.
But Bobby insists he wants a commitment ring. So he takes Brooke to a Japanese garden in Regent's Park in London.
Perfect setting. Romantic. He hands her the box on a park bench. She opens it.
And she looks at him and just says, "What the F is this?
I love that reaction so much. It's so honest.
It's so real because she sees a giant diamond. She knows they agreed no marriage, so her brain just short circuits. She's thinking, did you completely forget our plan?
Right. Did we not have a whole conversation about this?
But once he explained it, that it was a symbol of a life partnership without all the government paperwork, she loved it.
I think it really highlights the shift we're seeing. People finding love later in life. They have assets, they have kids, they have exes. They don't need the legal headache.
Permanent couple is actually a very mature, very intentional label. It says, I'm not looking for anyone else, but I'm also not looking for a marriage license.
It's a label that basically shuts down the rumors while letting them keep their independence.
But just because they aren't getting married doesn't mean they aren't merging their lives.
Stay tuned and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss what's coming next, because we are about to head to the Hamptons.
So they're a permanent couple. How do you celebrate that new status?
Apparently, you celebrated with a 240-year-old barn.
This is the domestic bliss part of the story. January 1st, 2026, they host their first big New Year's Eve party together.
And they do it at Bobby's new property out in the Hamptons. And get this, he had a massive antique barn relocated and reconstructed on the property.
Which is the ultimate chef flex. It's not just, I built a nice kitchen. It's, I imported a centuries-old structure to cook in.
Unbelievable. Brooke documented the whole feast on her Instagram, and of course it looked incredible. But what really struck me was the family part of it all.
Right. Flay compared their new dynamic to the Brady Bunch.
That's a huge statement. Merging families is. It's really hard.
It is. Flay's daughter, Sophie, is 29. Brooke's son, Hudson, is 17. Those are very different life stages to bring together, but it seems to be working.
And then Flay made that very public New Year's resolution.
The one that I think surprised a lot of people.
He posted that his goal for 2026 was, and I'm quoting, to be the best boyfriend possible to Brooke.
That is so significant. This is a man who has been defined by his ambition for 30 years. His resolutions are usually about, opening new restaurants or winning awards.
For him to publicly pivot his entire focus to being a good boyfriend, that signals a massive shift in his priorities.
Do you think that comes from dating an equal?
100%. I think in past relationships, maybe there was an imbalance. He was always the star.
But here, Brooke is a titan. She has her own empire. She doesn't need him for his money or his fame.
Which means he has to show up emotionally. He has to actually be a good partner, because she can walk away at any time and be completely fine on her own.
It really is a relationship that's built on professional parity.
And I think that's why the permanent couple label might actually stick. It's not based on some fairy tale fantasy. It's based on mutual respect and decades of shared experience.
So we've gone from a supermarket parking lot in Phoenix to a lockdown FaceTime call.
To a burger made with love. And finally, a diamond ring on a park bench in London.
It's a timeline that almost feels scripted, but it's the messy parts. The awkward, what is this, reactions, the years of not talking, that's what makes it feel real.
Bobby Flay and Brooke Williamson, they've essentially rewritten the entire recipe for a modern celebrity romance.
They've proved you can have the hard launch and the massive diamond without ever walking down the aisle.
And it does raise a pretty provocative thought for the rest of Hollywood, doesn't it? We see so many of these celebrity marriages just implode within, 18 months.
Is it possible the pressure of the marriage label itself is actually the problem?
Could permanent couple be the secret ingredient to making it last in an industry that's famous for volatility?
It's possible. When you wake up every single day and have to choose to be together without a legal contract forcing you to, maybe that choice just carries more weight.
It's definitely something to think about. You've been listening to StarScope Report, where Jordan and Jamie uncover the stories shaping Hollywood, music, and pop culture. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories that keep the stars shining.